Hello children, welcome back to the science video session. In this science video session, you are going to learn the lesson Universe and Space Science from Physics of Standard 8. Come, let's move on to the video session.
Unit 8 Universe and Space Science. Introduction. Have you ever watched a clear sky in the night? We will be delighted when we see countless number of stars and the beautiful moon, isn't it? The science which deals with the study of stars, planets and their motions, their positions and compositions is known as astronomy. The stars, the planets, the moon, and many other objects like asteroids and comets in the sky are called celestial objects. The sun and the celestial bodies which revolve around it form the solar system, a collection of billions of stars held together by mutual attraction is called galaxy. Our sun belongs to a galaxy called Milky Way. Billions of such galaxies form the universe. Hence, the solar system, the stars, and the galaxies are the constituents of the universe. In the recent year, many countries are showing interest to explore the space and they are sending manned and unmanned rockets to the moon and other planets. Our country also has launched a number of rockets into the space and achieved a lot in space research. In this lesson, we will study about launching of rockets, types of rocket fuels, Indian space research programs, and about NASA. Come, let's enter into the lesson. Rockets. The universe is a great mystery to all of us. Our mind always tries to know about the space around us. Understanding the space will be helpful to us in many ways. Space research provides information to understand the environment of the Earth and the changing climate and the weather on the Earth. Exploring the space will help us to answer many of the challenges we are facing these days. Discovery of rockets has opened a small portion of the universe to us. Rockets helps us to launch space probes to explore the planets in the solar system. They also helps us to launch space-based telescopes to explore the universe. More than all, rockets enable us to put satellites which are useful to us in a number of ways. Our country has effective rocket technology and has applied it successfully to provide so many space services globally. Parts of rockets. A rocket is a space vehicle with a very powerful engine designed to carry people or equipment beyond Earth and out into space. There are four major parts or system in a rocket. They are structural system, payload system, guidance system, and propulsion system. Structural system, that is, frame. The structural system is the frame that covers the rocket. It is made up of very strong but lightweight materials like titanium or aluminium. Fins are attached to some rockets at the bottom of the frame to provide stability during the flight. Then, the payload system. Payload is the object that the satellite is carrying into the orbit. Payload depends on the rocket's mission. The rockets are modified to launch satellites with a wide range of missions like communications, weather monitoring, spying, planetary exploration, and as observatories. Special rockets are also developed to launch people into the Earth's orbit and onto the surface of the moon. Guidance system. Guidance system guides a rocket in its path. It may include sensors, onboard computers, radars, and communication equipments. Then, the propulsion system. It takes up most of the space in a rocket. It consists of fuel tanks, pumps, and a combustion chamber. There are two main types of propulsion systems. They are liquid propulsion system and solid propulsion system. Types of propellants. A propellant is a chemical substance that can undergo combustion to produce pressurized gases whose energy is utilized to move a rocket against the gravitational force of attraction. It is a mixture which contains a fuel that burns and an oxidizer which supplies the oxygen necessary for the burning of the fuel. The propellants may be in the form of a solid or liquid. First, we are going to see the liquid propellants. In liquid propellants, fuel and oxidizers are combined in a combustion chamber where they burn and come out from the base of the rocket with a great force. Liquid hydrogen, hydrogen, and ethyl alcohol are the liquid fuels. Some of the oxidizers are oxygen, ozone, hydrogen peroxide, and fuming nitric acid. Solid propellants. In solid rocket propellants, fuel and oxidizer compounds are already combined. When they are ignited, they burn and produce heat energy. Combustion of solid propellants cannot be stopped once it is ignited. Solid fuels used in rockets are polyurethanes and polybutadienes. Nitrate and chloride salts are used as oxidizers. Then, the cryogenic propellants. In this type of fuel, the fuel or oxidizer or both are liquefied gases and they are stored at a very low temperature. These fuels do not need any ignition system. They react on mixing and start their own flame. Launching of satellite. Before being launched into the space, a rocket will be held down by the clamps on the launching pad. Manned or unmanned satellites will be placed at the top of the rocket. When the fuel in the rocket is burnt, it will produce an upward thrust. What is meant by thrust? It is actually a sudden strong movement forward. Then, there will be a point at which the upward thrust will be greater than the weight of the satellite. At that point, the clamp will be removed by remote control and the rocket will move upwards. According to Newton's third law, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. As the gas is released downward, the rocket will move upward. To place a satellite in a particular orbit, a satellite must be raised to the desired height and given the correct speed and direction by the launching rocket. If this high velocity is given to the rocket at the surface of the earth, the rocket will be burnt due to air friction. Moreover, such high velocity cannot be developed by a single rocket. So, multi-stage rockets are used. To penetrate the dense lower part of the atmosphere, initially the rocket raises vertically and then it is tilted by a guidance system. India's space programs. Soon after independence, India initiated space research activities. In 1969, Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO, was formed with the objective of developing space technology and its application for different needs of the nation. India is focusing on satellite for communication and remote sensing, space transportation system, and application programs. The first ever satellite Aryabhatta was launched in 1975. Since then, India has achieved a lot in space programs equal to that of the developed nations. Do you know? Rakesh Sharma, an Indian pilot from Punjab, was selected as a cosmonaut in a joint space program between India and Soviet Russia, became the first Indian to enter into the space on 2nd April 1984. Chandrayaan 1, meaning moon vehicle. Our country launched a satellite Chandrayaan 1 on 22nd October 2008 to study about the moon. It was launched from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh with the help of PSLV rocket, that is Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. It was put into the lunar orbit on 8th November 2008. The spacecraft was orbiting around the moon at the height of 100 km from the lunar surface. It collected the chemical, the mineralogical, and the geological information about the moon. This mission was a major boost for the Indian space programs and helped to develop its own technology to explore the moon. Chandrayaan 1 was operated for 312 days and achieved 95% of its objectives. The scientists lost their communication with the spacecraft on 28 August 2009. On the successful completion of all the major objectives, the mission was concluded. So, what are the objectives of Chandrayaan 1? To find the possibilities of water on the moon, to find the elements of matter on the moon, to search for the existence of helium 3, to make a three-dimensional atlas of the moon, to study about the evolution of the solar system. Do you know Kalamsat is the world's smallest satellite weighing only 64 grams. It was built by a team of high school students led by Rifat Shahrukh, an 18-year-old school student from Pallapatti near Karur, Tamil Nadu. It was launched into the space on 22nd June 2017 by NASA. Achievements of Chandrayaan 1. Chandrayaan 1 discovered the presence of water molecule in the lunar soil. Chandrayaan 1 confirmed that the moon was completely molten once. Chandrayaan 1 has recorded images of the landing site of the US spacecraft Apollo 15 and Apollo 11. And it has provided high resolution spectral data on the mineralogy of the moon. The existence of aluminum, magnesium, and silicon were picked up by the X ray camera. More than 40,000 images have been transmitted by the Chandrayaan 1 camera in 75 days. The Akayan image of peaks and craters shows that the moon mostly consists of craters, that is, holes. Chandrayaan 1 beamed back its first image of the Earth in its entirety. Chandrayaan 1 has discovered large caves on the lunar surface that can act as human shelter on the moon. Know your scientist. Dr. Mayasamy Annadurai was born on 2nd July 1958 at Kodavadi, a small village near Pollachi in Coimbatore district. He pursued his BE degree course at Government College of Technology, Coimbatore. In 1982, he pursued his higher education and acquired an ME degree at PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore. In the same year, he joined the ISRO as a scientist. And later, he got his doctorate degree from Anna University of Technology, Coimbatore. Anna Durai is a leading technologist in the field of satellite system. He has served as the project director of Chandrayaan 1. He has also made significant contributions to the cost effective design of Chandrayaan. Mangalyaan, Mars Vehicle. After the successful launch of Chandrayaan 1, ISRO planned an unmanned mission to Mars, that is Mars Orbiter mission, and launched a space probe, that is Space Vehicle, on 5th November 2013 to Mars orbit. This probe was launched by the PSLV rocket from Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. Mars Orbiter mission is India's first interplanetary mission. By launching Mangalyaan, ISRO became the fourth space agency to reach Mars. Mangalyaan probe traveled for about a month in Earth's orbit, and then it was moved to the orbit of Mars by a series of projections. It was successfully placed in the Mars orbit on 24 September 2014. Mars Orbiter mission MON successfully completed a period of 3 years in the Martian orbit and continues to work as expected. ISRO has released the scientific data received from the Mangalyaan in the past 2 years, up to September 2016. So, the objectives of Mangalyaan: to develop the technology required for interplanetary mission, then to explore the surface of Mars, to study the constituents of the atmosphere of Mars, to provide information about the future possibility of life and past existence of life on the planet. More to know. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun. It is the second smallest planet in the solar system. Mars is called as red planet because of its reddish color. Iron oxide present in its surface and also in its dusty atmosphere gives a reddish color to that planet. Mars rotates about its own axis once in 24 hours 37 minutes. Mars revolves around the Sun once in 687 days. The rotational period and seasonal cycles of Mars are similar to that of the Earth. Astronomers are more curious in the exploration of Mars. So, they have sent many unmanned spacecrafts to study the planet's surface, climate, and geology. Chandrayaan 2. ISRO has currently launched a follow on mission to Chandrayaan 1 named as Chandrayaan 2 on 22nd July 2019. Chandrayaan 2 mission is highly complex mission compared to previous mission of ISRO. It brought together an orbiter, lander and rover. It aims to explore south pole of the moon because the surface area of the south pole remains shadow much larger than the north pole. First we are going to see the orbiter in Chandrayaan 2. It revolves around the moon and it is capable of communicating with Indian Deep Space Network IDSN at PAYLOAD as well as Vikram lander. Then lander. It is named as Vikram in the memory of Dr. Vikram A. Sarabhai, the father of Indian space program. What is lander is actually a small landing rocket. Then rover. It is a fixed six-wheeled robotic vehicle named as Pragyan. In Sanskrit word, it means wisdom. Chandrayaan 2 was successfully inserted into the lunar orbit on 20th August 2019. In the final stage of the mission, just 2.1 km above the lunar space, lander Vikram lost its communication with the ground station on 7 September 2019. But the orbiter continues its work successfully. Know your scientist. Dr. Kailasa Sivan is the chairperson of the Indian Space Research Organization ISRO. He was born in Sarakal Vilai in Kanyakumari district of Tamil Nadu. Sivan graduated with a bachelor's degree in aeronautical engineering from Madras Institute of Technology in 1980. Then he got his master's degree in aerospace engineering from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore in 1982 and started working in ISRO. He completed his doctoral degree in aerospace engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay in 2006. He was appointed as chairman of ISRO from 10th January 2018. Sivan is popularly known as the Rocket Man for his significant contribution to the development of cryogenic engines for Indian space programs. The ability of ISRO to send 104 satellites in a single mission is a great example of his expertise. NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administrations. NASA is the most popular space agency whose headquarters is located at Washington, USA. It was established on 1st October 1958. It has 10 field centers, which provide a major role in the execution of NASA's work. NASA is supporting International Space Station, which is an international collaborative work on space research. It has landed rovers on Mars, analyzed the atmosphere of Jupiter, explored Saturn and Mercury. The Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs helped NASA learn more about flying in space. NASA's robotic space probes have visited every planet in the solar system. Satellites launched by NASA have revealed a wealth of data about Earth, resulting in valuable information such as a better understanding of weather patterns. NASA technology has contributed to make many items used in everyday life, from smoke detectors to medical tests. Apollo mission. Apollo missions are the most popular missions of NASA. These missions made American astronauts to land on the moon. It consists of totally 17 missions. Among them, Apollo 8 and Apollo 11 are more remarkable. Apollo 8 was the first manned mission to go to the moon. It orbited around the moon and came back to the Earth. Apollo 11 was the first manned landing mission to the moon. It landed on the moon on 20th July 1969. Neil Armstrong was the first man to walk on the surface of the moon. Then, the NASA's work with ISRO. NASA made an agreement to work with ISRO to launch the NISAR satellite, NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar, and Mars exploration missions. Work of Indians at NASA. People of Indian origin in America are working in NASA and they have made remarkable contribution to NASA. Kalpana Chawla. Kalpana Chawla was born on 17th March 1962 in Karnal, Punjab. In 1988, she joined the NASA. She was selected to take part in the Columbia Shuttle mission in 1997, and she became the first Indian woman astronaut to go to the space. On her second mission on the Columbia Shuttle, she lost her life when the shuttle broke down. Then, Sunita Williams. Sunita Williams was born on 19 September 1965 in USA. She started her career as an astronaut in August 1998. She made 2 trips to the International Space Station. She set a record of the longest spacewalking time by a female astronaut in 2012 with a total spacewalk of 50 hours and 40 minutes, that is 7 spacewalk. She is one of the crew of NASA's manned Mars mission.